I'm the Librarian, and today I'm going to be looking at Matthew Reilly's The Great Dragon Zoo of China. Yeah, I know it's actually called The Great Zoo of China, but it's actually about dragons. Spoiler alert! Actually, it's not much of a spoiler alert considering the book throws dragons at you in the first chapter, and they're on the front cover. Anyways, this is a Jurassic Park type book, except it's set in China and involves dragons. Other than that, it pretty much follows Jurassic Park to the letter. I mean, you've got a group of people who've been invited to a secret location to look at this mysterious zoo, and then this bit came as a big surprise, it all goes terribly wrong. I mean, what were they thinking? Hey man, we've just discovered these huge, amazing, mythical creatures. Should we tell the world of this amazing discovery? Nah, let's just spend a few decades designing and building them in state-of-the-art enclosure. Why the hell would we do that? So we can charge the public extortionate amounts of money to come marvel at our zoo. A zoo which will rival all other attractions around the world. Fuck you, Mickey Mouse, it's China's time to shine. How can they think that's a good idea? They even acknowledge the events of the Jurassic Park books and films within the book itself. I mean, this whole scenario just screams danger, death and destruction. And inevitably, those screams eventually become real. The dragons rebel against their captors and try and figure a way to get out, causing chaos, death and destruction wherever they go. Mickey, I think you're pretty safe for now, mate. All they had to do to know that this elaborate plan was going to become one massive cock-up was to look at events in the real world. I mean, everyday situations that you go through can become royally fucked up without the inclusion of dragons. Have you ever woken up from a restless night's sleep and you walk into the kitchen in zombie mode to make yourself some breakfast, and before you know it, you've poured fresh orange juice over your cornflakes and you've been adding bacon into your coffee? I mean, if we can't even perform basic breakfast tasks when we're slightly groggy, how the fuck do they expect to be able to handle and contain the power and might of 200 plus dragons? I mean, for Christ's sake, we're a race that whilst walking down the road will spy a pile of dog crap. We make note of it and we take evasive action to avoid it, and then end up stepping into the other pile that we didn't notice. God, I hate it when that happens. Now, these mistakes, whilst annoying and being able to put you in a bad mood for the rest of the day, are in fact pretty small and minor ones. Things can get much worse. For example, we've all had that experience where on a night out with your friends, you'll suddenly spot someone across the dance floor who takes your breath away. They're stunning, they're beautiful, they're sexy, they're an angel from heaven. And what do? You take a quick swig of your drink, you set your faces to stun, and you move in for the kill. And yes, I know that I just said you're going to set them to stun and then you're going to go in and kill them, but it's just a saying, so don't complain. This situation is a huge minefield of things that could go wrong. I mean, for all you know, they're already there with someone else. They could have just gone through a really bad breakup and they're just there with friends and just want to have a laugh and a nice time. They're not there to meet anyone. Or, they could look really sexy, but when you get up to them, they smell rank. I mean, the list just goes on. But that doesn't matter. You push it all to the back of your head and you move in, assured that no one can resist your charms. And that's when I received a punch to the face. Apparently, the guy that I went and talked to didn't take too kindly to other guys coming up and flirting with him. Which, okay, to be fair, is not everyone's cup of tea. But there's one slight problem with this version. We were in a gay bar! This guy had gone to a gay bar with his girly friends and then taken offence and turned violent when the guy, a gay guy in the gay bar, went up to him for some reason under the assumption that he too would be into men because he's in a gay bar and offered to buy him a drink. I mean, what the actual fuck was wrong with this guy? Now, of all the ways I'd thought a chat-up line could go wrong, I'd never even considered being assaulted. Oh, sure, there were no dragons involved, but this was worse, because this was real life. I mean, what did this guy think would happen in a club filled with mainly homosexual or bisexual men? Well, clearly, he seems to be under the assumption that gay bars are the best place to go flirt and pick up ladies. If someone flirts with you, shouldn't that be seen as a good thing? A sign that people think that you're attractive? Okay, he might not have liked men, this guy, but surely he could still take it as a compliment. I mean, how insecure does he have to be to receive a compliment and an offer of a drink from a guy that his first reaction is to turn around and fight? I mean, I've had girls flirt with me in the past. I mean, it's not like I have a sign that says, sorry girls, I'm gay. They come up to me and I obviously think, well, they must think that I'm nice. So I'm polite back to them, and all it takes on my part is a smile and just to simply say to them that, sorry love, I'm back for the other team. But after my experience with that guy, part of me is terrified that I'm going to end up throttling the next woman that smiles at me. The only way I can think of making sure that this never happens to me again is to constantly wear one of those t-shirts that says, sorry ladies, I suck cock. But I don't own one of those. Besides, that isn't really proper librarian attire, and I don't think I'd look right wearing that while singing nursery rhymes to the babies during rhyme time sessions, or whilst teaching an old lady how to send an email. My point is the fact that simple everyday tasks that we can do with our eyes closed most times can one day randomly go wrong. I mean, you go to the shops for some eggs and you end up coming back with several other items, but you forget the eggs, despite the fact that you wrote a list. Your car might be running low on fuel, so you pull into the nearest station and you fill it up with diesel, despite the fact that you've had a petrol car for the last 5 years. You book front row seats to go see a live show, you make a note of the date, you book the day off work, and then when the day comes round, you totally forget that you've booked it. And yes, I have done that, I think, on 2 occasions. China, if you're watching this, please let go of your Dragon Zoo dreams. I mean, it's only going to end in tears. Stick to something that you're good at, like making cups of tea. I mean, the only things that's going to go wrong there is your tea bag might split or the milk might be off. But at least you're not going to get torn in half by a hungry dragon. Cheers!